welcome back to another episode of the, what are we trying now? PTB podcast? Is that what we're going to call ourselves? Or Yarn Talk with
Yarn Talk.
PTB. Because, you know, Princess Tigerbutton.
Works.
Yes. So we're gonna workshop that for a little while and see how that feels. Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Jamie. I am one of the creators behind Princess Tigerbutton Designs, and this is my person, Marc, who is also one of our creatives. He does the ideas, I do the making.
I still suck at crochet. I still haven't been taught, but I'll try.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Way to throw me under the bus on air. Thanks. Anyway, so I guess that'll be a content feature some point in 2026. We'll teach Marc how to crochet.
Hey.
I have high hopes.
You've been busy, so I don't hold it against you.
I think you can do it. Anyway, we have been busy. We definitely have. Let's see. Today is the 17th. We're actually a day late recording this.
Yes.
And yesterday I was going to record and I wouldn't have had Marc with me. I was going to be by myself. And I ended up spending the whole day just crocheting my little hands off. Just trying to, we have a market today. And as per usual, I just feel like I never have enough product. Honestly, you never really do. Because you could, in theory, sell out of everything you have all the time. No matter how much you bring. So I really do never have enough product. So I made plenty more stuff. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. While I'm on the topic of calling it PTB, I don't think I want to change. I've been contemplating changing the business name a little bit and dropping the design. So instead of being my DBA, my doing business as, is Princess Tigerbutton Designs. And I feel like whenever anybody talks about us, it's just Princess Tigerbutton. And I don't want to keep correcting people. And I don't know if I need to file a new, pay $40 again and file a new DBA, or if I can just, because my legal business name could still be Princess Tigerbutton Designs as far as taxes and everything goes. But I think as far as branding goes, oh man, which means a new banner.
I mean, we could still keep the banner.
It was pretty inexpensive, but that is not a rush change.
No.
It'd be the same thing with the business cards, but I am due to order new business cards, so that's a good time to consider it, because the banner actually was pretty cheap, so I can always get a new banner. But I think that might be a little bit easier for people to memorize. Like, for example, my Etsy website. My Etsy website is is princesstigerbutton.etsy.com. The designs didn't fit. I am Princess Tigerbutton. Well, I'm Princess Tigerbutton Designs on Facebook. That's easy to change. Same thing with Instagram. But I'm Princess Tigerbutton on TikTok. Not that I do a lot with TikTok.
Yeah, we have to get back into it.
And I haven't put any products on the TikTok shop, even though I'm approved. I started making a listing, and a lot of the questions they asked were things that feel like more appropriate for big retailers. Mm. And bulk ordering and whatnot. And I'm afraid I don't know the TikTok shop well enough, and I don't know any small makers that sell on there. I'm going to have to do some more research before I start listing things, because I'm absolutely terrified that on one hand, yes, a product is going to blow up, but then I won't be able to keep up with the supply, and then there'll be bad marks against me. And I don't want to open that can of worms without knowing how I'm going to handle it. So I'm going to do some more research and see if any small makers like me are actually on that platform, because it does look like it's better suited for people that can crank out a lot of a product.
Well, maybe it's like Etsy, where you can say it takes X time to make, and
there's everything, from what I could tell from the listings, everything's set up for things that are ready to ship, and I think that's what TikTok wants. It's not like Etsy, where you can make commissions, where you can create custom listings and you can pad out your processing time. TikTok is very geared towards, you see it, you buy it.
Yeah,
you get it. So that's why I said I don't know. That may not be a useful platform for me. I may have to just focus on using the TikTok to funnel back to Etsy for now. Will I consider maybe having other shops, another shop site in the future? Possibly. Obviously Shopify is a big one, although I've heard some not so great things about Shopify lately, especially with the new prevalence. I don't know if you've heard about this, Marc. Amazon created a thing called Shop For Me. So now they're putting listings from Shopify businesses and stuff and other things that they've crawled off the web. into Amazon. So when you search for product, these listings are also coming up alongside the listings
like,
on Amazon. This is all AI generated. It's done unbeknownst to a lot of these shops off of Amazon. And they make it sound like it's so simple, like, oh, it's just funneling traffic back to your website. But the problem is now when that person says, oh, I got it off that, they're going to say, oh, I got it off Amazon. I got it off this. It's, Etsy's hard enough for people to remember your shop name. Because what they do is they go, oh, I got it on Etsy. So the next person Googles on Etsy, and then they find some other maker. So they're not going to buy it from you again. It's so hard. And that is probably the number one pro to having your own website, is being able to funnel that traffic and all your website right to your website and your website alone. But until such time as we have the traffic online sales to support that, it just doesn't make sense for me to be paying the monthly fees to host a website, to pay for a shop. Although maybe not, and it might be just because I've been watching a lot of Baumgartner Restoration and they are very much sponsored by Squarespace. So I'm thinking Squarespace may also be a solution there too.
There's a couple ones I've been listening to that are offering you like $1 for the first month or so.
Oh yeah.
So
free trials and stuff like that.
You could just try it out.
There's another one I noticed a lot of people using called Big Cartel. I've been seeing a lot of ads for that as another like a Shopify kind of online commerce solution. So I'm gonna do more research into that, but it's probably not. It's not something that's immediate right now, in terms of building a website or anything like that. But that may be something we consider maybe towards the middle of the year, or when we get into con season, if I want to actually go that route instead of Etsy. Anyway, that was a whole lot of rambling about, but it's something that's been on my mind and it's related to the business, so it fits. But yes, wow, my brain, once again, we've been so busy today that I did not create any show notes before we started. So as far as trying to touch all the bases, we are winging it again. If you didn't know that we have ADHD, this is pretty much your sign. But, okay, so I guess we can I didn't have any yarny mail to show off, so I guess we can get right into what I made this week. I made an ice cream. I've made a couple of these, and then it got into be fall season, and I was like, oh, nobody's going to want ice cream cones, and we've actually sold like 2 or 3 of them, including one to his kid. So, they are kind of popular. I just happen to have a little bit of mint green yarn, and so I made a little mint or pistachio ice cream, and it's kind of more mint, I think. But I don't know if someone's going to buy that, but we'll bring that today. This, I believe, is a pattern. This is a paid pattern I bought on Etsy, and from Mal's Crochet, I believe. Yes, I think so. So we have that, and next we have a whole bunch more froggies. A pile of these little frogs just makes me really happy for some reason. So I showed one of these before, and I made a couple, 2 or 3 more in this Go-Go Green. This is Bernat Blanket Brights. This is the No-Sew Frog pattern by Bria Crochets. Although I wonder if she's changed her name since I got the pattern, because I found it I'll link it where I got it, and it said like Meadow Sage Studio. So I wonder if she's changed her name and didn't change the name on the free patterns, because it was a pattern on Instagram for free. And so I made a couple of those. I made a couple more in this dark green color. This is Bernat Blanket too. I want to say this is Deep Sea, which is definitely more green than blue, but. And then I made 2 of these in this kind of variegated green. This is Bernat Blanket Mystical in the colorway Spearmint. I really like these guys. I think I'm going to try selling them for $5. I timed myself this morning, and it really took me under 20 minutes to make one. So, I mean, that would be minimum wage. To make 3 in an hour would be $15, but that's also covering materials. If I wanted to get my time, I would definitely have to charge more, but I don't think that their value would be much more. I don't think I could push this to 10, at least not in our market. Maybe
7.
Maybe if I make some for con, I'll probably be jacking my prices up a little bit just to keep inventory under control. So it could be something that goes to 10. Because I've definitely been watching a lot of Artist Alley videos, and people are selling plushies like this small for like 15. So I feel like maybe for cons I could go to 10. But in our local markets, I don't think anyone's going to pay that. So I'm going to try them at 5, see how they go. If they sell out super fast, then I will bring the price up a little bit just to slow down how fast they sell. And that's really kind of it, is just trial and error. And everybody's markets are different, so it's really tough to say, like, you should sell them at this price, and they're going to fly off the shelf for you, because they may not. So we are definitely experimenting. So, and I made some more of the mini kittens. I'm definitely going to have to spend some more time on this, like maybe like take a whole day or two or a whole weekend when we're not doing anything to build up my stock, both of full-size loaf cats and of the mini kittens. But I made another one. This is They're Not Mystical in Gray Cloud. This is super soft. It's like a grayish brownie color. And then I've sold like a whole bunch of the full-size cats in this color. So people do seem to really like it. And he's really soft to the touch. And I think people really enjoy that as well. This is also Burnett Mystical. This is the colorway Canyon. And I think this is really a perfect orange cat color. Like with all the little marbling in it. Like I can't get over just how good this color looks. And so I'm excited to hopefully sell some of these. And then I made a little black kitty. If I had more time, I wanted to do a calico and a tuxedo, which are always my top sellers on full-size cats. And I actually don't think I have either one of those in stock in full-size cats today.
Oh boy.
So we are a little light on cats. But that's okay, because I did want to bring a bit of I needed to build up a variety for the show. So I did make some more drifts. And this one is similar to the first one I made, only this one has a little bit more green and purple in it. This is Burnout Blanket. Might be Baby Blanket, and I think it's called Ocean Shades. So I kind of like that. I definitely think the variegateds are fun. These are a fun way to use up variegateds that wouldn't work for a lot of other projects. And so then I made a red one. I didn't have like a dark red. Like their normal color is like a deep rusty dark red, and then they change their color to camouflage with their surroundings. But I did make a red one. I thought that looked kind of fun. This is Burnout Blanket in Crimson. And then I thought I'd make a black one, just because today's fair theme is kind of like dark, gothy, alternative and stuff. So I want to make some black things, some different things. And I gave him little sparkly eyes so you can actually see his eyes. So hopefully these guys will sell. This will be their debut on the market scene. And I made a couple more of the Chubby Bats in black. I am not as thrilled with this pattern as I thought I was going to be when I first saw it. I don't mind doing a little bit of sewing. I'm not so incapable of sewing, but like it seems no matter how much I pin them in place, they always come out a little wonky, and I'm not thrilled with these wings. Like they just look funny. I've tried different placements and I'm just not happy with them. But hopefully somebody will take these little guys home. And next we have, I showed these half done a couple weeks ago, but I did finish off these blue chickens. In the Stardew Valley game, the comb is a little more purple. I just didn't have that quite bright fuchsia color. But I also didn't want them to be too obvious. So pinky fuchsia is going to be the order of the day. And, hey, sometimes things happen in chicken breeding and they come out blue, We don't talk about what happens in the coop. And I just used up some yarn and made a little pinky duck. Oh, I forgot to mention this was the Loops and Threads Sweet Snuggles Light in Bluebird. Because Bluebird. I made a little rubber ducky in a pink color. This is Loops and Threads Demi Pearl in Pink Lemonade, which I really like. That color, this color I use for a lot of things. Like this is like flamingo pink. So it definitely gets used in a lot of projects. I'll be sure to make more. Actually, I showed all the whales last time, so I think we're good. And then I made 3 more possums. I did show these before, but I finished 3 more of them. And so these will actually be their first debut today at the market as well. So hopefully they do well. I think they're really cute. And now, oh no, my coasters.
That's in the bag.
Okay, cool. Before we get into that, I made a set of coasters, and they're already packed up, ready to take to the show. I won't take them out, but I'm going to put a picture in later. It's a skull. And it's a set of 4 coasters that all have a little skull in the middle, and then they're black, and they all have a pink ruffle on the outside edge. So when you put them in the skull container, it looks like brains. It is super cool. I had a lot of fun making it, and hopefully that is a hit today as well. And because I don't mind making more if that actually sells. And so the last thing I made that I finished up yesterday was this little bear. Now, the skull is a little wonky on here just because of the nature of trying to color change stitches. And so, I don't know, I left it as is today to see if somebody wants it with this kind of like funky look. But I think if I do any more of these, I'm going to like make a little skull applique and then just put that on. And that would leave a lot of room for, I could do patches or things like that to do different things. But I think instead of trying to do the stitches, they just didn't come out. Like you can see it's a skull, but like you have all these extra weird little edges and stuff. And I'm not thrilled about that. But this pattern is the Hoodie Bear by Nooks Hooks. This was a paid pattern. And the pattern came with modifications to turn this hoodie into a frog costume or a chick or a cow. And I think that'll be really cute. I'll make up a couple of those for springtime as well. But the best part about this little hoodie bear, you can take his hood off. It doesn't come off completely, but you can pull his hood back so he can be out of his hood. Or you can put the hood back on. And there's little slits for his ears. The construction of this is really interesting. The first thing they have you do is make the arms. And then they have you make the 2 legs starting from the bottom. And you make the first leg and you stop. And then you make the second leg and then you connect them together. And then this is actually the body of the bear is the hoodie color. This little ridge is sewn on, is done afterwards to make a little edge. And then when you make the hood, you make the slits for the ears, but you also make a slit, I don't know if I can show you here, at the neck. And so you do the body up to the neck and then stuff the neck through the slit in the hood so that the hood is on, and then you work up the head. So you can't really take the hood off. I'm sure you could if you really wanted to squish this down hard, but why would you? But it's not attached to the shirt. But I don't know, it just gives it a little bit more freedom of movement, I think, in terms of being able to take the hood on and off. I showed this to my mom, and she was like, oh, why don't you make the rest of the body separate? And I'm like, it's going to take twice as long as it did to make this if I have to make a separate hoodie for it. But, that's thoughts for another day. But I think this is cute. I'm already going to make a couple more of these in like a Valentine theme. I think this might make a good raffle prize for the quarter auction. That was the thing we haven't touched on today, is we went last Saturday to a quarter auction. And we've signed up to do the next one on the 7th. It was so much fun.
It was.
The way it worked is we bought tickets. We bought our tickets ahead of time. We could have bought them at the door too. And for your $10 ticket, you get 6 little paddles. That's 6. And they corresponded to, it had a number corresponding on them. And they had a little round token Velcroed to them that with the same number. So when you picked up your 6 paddles, they had them in a big bucket and let us just choose whatever 6 paddles we wanted. They're like paint stick size. And then we took the little circles and those went in the bucket. So you had your 6 paddles with your 6 different numbers, and they had your corresponding numbers in the bucket. We had a chance to go around and see the table that had all the quarter auction prizes on it ahead of time to kind of scope it out. And then we had time to look at all the vendors, and then we sat down. So for your $10, you also got 10 rounds of bingo.
Oh, it's 6.
No, it was 10 rounds
Was
bingo.
it?
We did 10 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. And they did like 10 quarter auctions too. It was a lot. But what I really liked. Now, see, when I Googled the quarter auction thing, they explained it to me differently. So maybe other places work differently in terms of if you put out an item and it's going to be like the bid is this many and then you put that many quarters in. This was different because they gave us the 6 sticks. You could bid up to $1.50 on every item. So they'd be like, here is this pretty purse. And you would say, okay, maybe I don't want that purse. So maybe you wouldn't put any sticks in. Or maybe you feel bad and you want to give the vendor a little something. So you put 1 stick in for 1 quarter. And or say maybe you say, wow, I really like that and I want it. I'm going to put $1.50 in and all 6 sticks. So it's like a mini raffle. Like a little mini quarter raffle. And you have up to 6 chances. And then the vendor keeps all the quarters. So you could definitely, if you bring something that garners some interest, definitely make a few bucks. And it works for everybody, because the venue got money from the tickets, you get money from the bids, and then the winner gets a nice item for very little money.
Oh yeah.
So that's the appeal. What I also really liked is all of the bingo prizes were vouchers to spend with any of the vendors. And that did two things. Number one, it encouraged people to actually buy from the vendor tables, and it allowed people to pick out their own prize versus necessarily putting up a prize that wouldn't appeal to a lot of people, or and then maybe not garner a lot of attention. And the third thing is it allowed children to play bingo, because it's not a cash prize, so it's not gambling. And this makes a lot of sense. Like when my kids did bowling, USBC doesn't give out cash prizes for tournaments. They give you scholarship money, and you can't take that out until you're 18. So it's kind of the same kind of legal rigmarole, but it allows the kids to participate. And you know what? Bingo is fun. We played a lot of bingo when I was in school, and I remember that being super fun when we got to do those things. So I like that they made it kind of family friendly. But so we'll be doing the next one, the 7th. We're already paid up. And so my game plan, unless I change my mind last minute, is to offer a voucher to spend in our shop for the quarter auction. A couple people did that last Saturday, and so I know that that's an acceptable prize. And I suppose maybe I could even make it into like a little basket with some candy or something cute. Doesn't have to just be like, here's a paper.
Yeah.
I make it something fun and exciting. But for the raffle, they had an actual ticket raffle table, and I might make another one of those bears with like a red sweater with a heart or something Valentine's themed. It'd be cute. So I definitely think that this pattern is something versatile that I could do for different things. Like I might do the frog and the chicken stuff for Easter, or even just do some spring colors. Like I said, now I think instead of like trying to stitch on there, like I might just do some appliques, or maybe if I'm feeling a little froggy, maybe I could like cross stitch something on it instead of crochet stitching.
Maybe.
So I think it's definitely open up to a lot of different designs. So that's fun. And I think that covers pretty much everything today. Like I said, we're about to go. We actually are all packed up to go to our fair. We're just going to grab some drinks and snacks for the road and make our way down there. New Bedford is almost an hour from here. So, and it's going to be interesting because this is going to be our first time setting up strictly a 6-foot table. So this will be more in line with like what our setups are going to be like next week at the vendor fair for the quarter auction, or where we're going to be at, when we go to convention. We've only got 6 feet. So we bought some new equipment this week. We bought some grid cubes, and I got another jewelry rack that I talked about getting. So, and we got some new clear bins that I think are going to help us look a little bit more uniform. The only thing I didn't really address this week was signage. So we'll have to make do with our old signage for now. But, now that once we see the setup, and then we'll know what we need going forward. But I think it's going to help us be able to build up a little higher, really maximize the use of that space. Oh, and I got some new plastic claw clips, and the little metal bead chains for making keychains. So now we can offer to make especially all the little small stuff into keychains if someone wants. I think eventually when we get to conventions that I will have enough stock that I will make some as keychains ahead of time and have some non-keychains. But if some of these smaller fairs where I don't have as much, I'm going to leave them non, or maybe make one as a sample and then just offer it, because it takes not more than a couple minutes to put one of those chains through and make it into a keychain.
But just have to put a sign, or we have some out there.
Well, if we have an easel, we'll use our easel.
Okay.
Easel, so maybe we can write on it. So that is our plan for today. So what else do we have? I'm trying to think if we have any other news coming up. Oh, I did pay the deposit for the card show next month. So we will be at the Emerald Square Mall for the card trading show on the 14th and 15th. So I'll have to build up some extra stock for that. I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to pan out and whether that's going to be a good thing for us going forward. And I haven't read anything this week again, so I don't have any what I'm reading yet. And I don't really have a YouTube channel to shout out this week from what I'm watching. I did try to get him into Bridgerton the other day, and we got interrupted by some family stuff. So we'll have to go back into trying that. But he did seem to enjoy what he saw so far. So hopefully maybe we can get him caught up on Bridgerton before the next season comes down. I did, however, binge all of Heated Rivalry.
I heard about that. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
It was good. I mean, it's definitely gay. And a little graphic.
Okay then.
I mean, it is on HBO, so you know what? They got to show you some butts and some chests. I didn't see any peens.
No, usually it's just ass and butt.
But there was definitely acts happening. So I was almost a little embarrassed to be watching it, and I was afraid Tristan was going to catch me. But like, it is, and that's just because I don't know. There's a line with your children, even if they're adults. But as far as I didn't realize until after I'd watched it, because I thought this was just a show that came out, and that's why. Because I saw memes and jokes and stuff about it, and not mean-spirited ones, of course. But I think I'd seen what's her name? Get to Hooking Crochet. She does a lot of like little comedy sketches and stuff related to crafting. And she had made a joke about pitching Heated Rivalry as a craft show. And that's where I first heard about it. I was like, all right, I guess I better watch this show. But then it was actually really good. And of course, being a hockey fan and being a Boston fan, it kind of made it extra special. I do like, it was a nice touch, although they changed the names. They had the teams, the rival teams were the Boston Raiders and the Montreal Metros. But I do like that they picked an actual rivalry between Boston and Montreal, because they are both Original Six teams and down with the Habs. So, yes. Yeah, sports talk in my yarn. But, yeah, because there's football. We have football this weekend, right?
Yes.
Football. Yeah. Maybe this time the Patriots will show up and it won't just be Drake May winning games. God, I'm so brutal. But yes, in May we trust. And hopefully the rest of the team will support him, because we were definitely on the edge of our seats last Sunday night. They pulled out a win in a really low-scoring game, but it was not a team effort. It was definitely kind of Drake May carrying the team. But then again, I think of many games back in the day where Brady absolutely carried that team. So, definitely. I mean, I don't want to give into the hype, but everybody, of Brady 2.0, but I'm telling you, the kid looks good. The kid looks good, and we're excited. It's been the first time I think we've been excited about Patriots football since Brady abandoned us. But, yeah, okay. Okay, enough football talk. You didn't come here for sports. Came here for yarns. But I think we're going to call it. We got to go get some snacks and get on the road and start our market vlogging today. So you're going to see more of us today, just in a different video. So I hope you guys have a good week. And if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button. Give us a like, share it with your yarny friends. Let's get some more, get some things going. Let me know what you're working on, what you're excited for. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.